Hello, this is Shawn Withers. I'm here today to talk to you about a tool we can use for Module 4 when we're talking about our social dynamic for our students and how they're actually interacting with each other, as well as getting into Module 5 and how we're going to deploy that out. So, Pam Rowland of Rowan County has a great tool to share, and this is Parlay. And this tool lets you actually have a lot of open discussions with your students in a nice uniform environment. So I'm going to let Pamela lead us off, and thank you for joining in with us.
Start with the first one, Parlay Universe, which has a topic library. So you can actually look through thousands of topics that you can use with your class and select those. So let's go to Parlay Universe and let's actually just select a topic and show you how to start a discussion. So when I go into Parlay, and I'm actually not logged in right this minute, so I can go to, for example, I can look here and right off the bat, there's the first one, Tokyo Summer Olympics. So let's say I want to click on that. It's just an introductory 6, 8, and 9 through 12. You'll see that it shows you the learning goals. Today we're going to be discussing the Summer Olympics Games in Tokyo, Japan. And it gives some content and multimedia already built in with some links. The discussion questions are there for you. Ideas for students to give peer feedback. And so all of that is already built in, which is amazing to me as an educator. So let's say, for example, I want to use this topic. I can go over to the pink button and click Use This Topic. It would probably be helpful if I logged in, but let's go ahead and see. It's loading that topic for me. So I have my Parlay actually linked with my Google account and Google Classroom. So it will give me the option of selecting which class I want to assign this discussion to. So I'm a former social studies teacher, so to me, this is amazing. So it asks you what class is this roundtable for. So I'm going to pretend that this is for my 6th period social studies class and create a roundtable. So you'll see that it's loading in my course, which is an older course. So you'll see here, it shows you can turn on some different things at the top, anonymity on, will your students be anonymous to each other, or no students' names. So I'm going to go with no students' names. Assessment on, let's say this time I want, a teacher can provide assessment with points, and then you can decide if you want peer feedback. So you can select which items you actually want for peer feedback, or maybe you want all of them for peer feedback. So it shows the topic that we just selected. And then if you want to start a live roundtable, we'll look at that in a few minutes. But so students can actually go in and they can add a response. And when they click add response on this particular one, it will pop up and actually show them review the prompt, submit your response, or join the discussion. Okay, I got it. So they have these options. And over here, you see all the different tools that they have. They even have included some templates for them as well. So they can actually write their response there. And it's very interactive for discussion. So that's one feature of Parlay that students can use. The other feature of Parlay, let's look at it again. And let's try a different this time, instead of selecting a topic, let's go to an online roundtable. This is a written discussion. So this one, you want a written discussion. So again, it's the same thing, but this one will be just straight written. You can go to Parlay Universe, just like we did a moment ago, and you can actually select a topic, but this one would be entirely written. And then you have a third option for online roundtable. And the third option is the verbal discussion. So in this one, we're going to do a live roundtable where we have verbal. So you can share all your resources and guiding questions prior to the discussion. I almost think of this like a Socratic seminar where you share and students are prepared for the discussion before they arrive. You can invite the kids, your students, through Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. Same basic. It's just which of the three do you prefer? As we go across the top here with the tabs, you can see there's topics, and there's literally tons of topics that relate to the different subject areas. Over here on the left, you can see the English, history, science, and you can kind of, there's even a donut daily news. There's icebreakers, which would be great for the beginning of the school year. So there's all kinds of resources embedded into Parlay, which is just great. So that's in Parlay Universe. And so now let's go back again and let's look at the main, the other features that we have in Parlay. So one of the things you can do in a live discussion, let's see here, in a live discussion, once you start a live roundtable, you'll see that students can take notes, and the notes will only be visible to you and the student. The next thing, students can actually tap in. So when you assign, you can actually click and actually assign students to the discussion, and then they will show up in the queue, and you can actually, they can tap in and discuss within, they can have a new idea, a challenge, build on, or a question. So that kind of involves students who maybe otherwise wouldn't be participating in a discussion. They maybe wouldn't be so intimidated to do that. So obviously teachers can facilitate, they run the live polls. Another thing I like about Parlay is you can click the nudge button and you can actually nudge students to participate in the discussion, and only you and the student will see that you've given them that little nudge. Obviously, I talked about the queue system helps if you assign a student moderator to make the discussion a little bit more lively. Once you finish with the discussion, you can actually publish your analytics, and it shows you students who participated, what did they bring to the table, did they bring new ideas, challenges, build-ons, did they pose questions. So it's, and then finally the last piece of the tool is the feedback and assessment, and I think it's a great way for teachers to provide assessment to students on verbal skills that they obviously would need in the real world. So I just think that it is one of the coolest tools out there for deep discussion and critical thinking, to get your students involved in discussion. So, you know, either way that you want to use it, whether you prefer to use the online roundtable, written, the live roundtable, or Parlay Universe. Either way, I think it's just amazing. And their resources, their website is just full of resources for ways that you can use it in the classroom. So I see such amazing potential with Parlay. So give it a try. I think you'll love it.
Thank you again, Pam, for that. Parlay is an excellent tool for bridging that gap of communicating with other students in a nice controlled environment. It is a great tool for teachers to start trying to adapt to add that social aspect to their classroom, and yet again add another blended option to your toolkit that you can present to kids as a means of discussing. So thank you again, Pamela, and thank you for everyone for tuning in, and do look for future tools that we put out to add to your classroom. And thank you again, guys. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out some of our additional videos, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell so you can keep up to date with all future content. Thank you.